Chapter 11, the 11th key, overcoming obstacles. As one door closes, another door opens. An English proverb says, "Smooth waters never made a skilled sailor." Craig McFarland says, "We all have inconveniences of one kind or another. How you deal with them ultimately determines how successful you are." And the ancient Roman poet Horace says, "Adversity has the effect of eliciting talents, which, in prosperous circumstances, would have lain dormant." We all experience setbacks. Setbacks are a part of life. How you view and deal with challenges determines how far you will advance in your own life. If Milton Hershey had accepted his first failed candy shop as a defeat, he never would have gone on to found Hershey's Chocolates. If Henry Ford had accepted his first failed ventures as a defeat, he never would have founded Ford Motor Car Company. Had Colonel Harlan David Sanders not been forced to close his service station, he never would have been challenged to establish Kentucky Fried Chicken. As I mentioned earlier in the book, Arthur Blank and Bernie Marcus were fired from their job at Handy Dan Home Improvement Store in 1978. Later that year, they formed their own store and they called it the Home Depot. As of 2009, Home Depot had 209,000 employees and generated $72 billion a year in revenue from over 2,000 stores worldwide. Arthur Blank is now the owner of the Atlanta Falcons. Bernie Marcus has become one of the nation's most generous philanthropists, donating over $200 million for the construction of the world's largest aquarium in downtown Atlanta. He also created the Marcus Foundation that supports medical research and Jewish causes. As one door closed for these men, another door was opening. That is how it works for all of us. When something appears as though it's not going your way, something else will be awaiting your discovery. Don't worry about the situations or opportunities that don't work out. Keep looking for the ones that will flourish, and eventually you'll find them. Maintain the confidence that good things are always on the horizon. According to your faith, it will be done unto you. Rick Allen dropped out of high school to become drummer for the British rock band Def Leppard when he was just 15 years old. 6 years later, he lost his left arm in a tragic car crash. At first, Rick thought his dreams had come to an end. During his recuperation, however, friends and bandmates encouraged him to modify his drum kit and continue to play with just one arm. Just 5.5 weeks after the accident, Rick was back on stage with the band. Def Leppard rose to worldwide fame and huge success after Rick's accident with their 4th album titled Hysteria. Rick has publicly said that the challenge of losing his arm led to a spiritual awakening that makes him now view the accident as a blessing in disguise. This is the whole point. When life knocks you down, get back up. Look for the lessons to learn. Look for opportunities to grow, prosper, and triumph, because they're always there. Rick and his wife Lauren founded the Raven Drum Foundation in Malibu, California, which encourages children with disabilities to overcome their challenges. Rick offers inspiration by sharing his own story. Bruce Jenner was a college football star who was sidelined with a knee injury. Encouraged by a track coach, Bruce used his athletic ability to compete in the decathlon. At the 1976 Olympic Games in Montreal, he became the first American decathlon champion in history, winning the gold medal and setting a new world record. Bruce's response to not being able to play football was that he found another way to achieve great things as an athlete. Learn from Bruce and focus on what you can do instead of what you think you cannot do when faced with setbacks. Challenges lead to growth. When the waters of life get rough, rejoice in the faith that God has a plan to bring you increase. Your job is to face your challenge with confidence, faith, and a positive expectancy that you will rise higher by overcoming them. Adversity refines and strengthens your greater potential. Mary Kay Ash was a recently divorced mother with 3 young children when she was forced to work a full-time job to support her family. She worked first in sales and then in sales training for over 20 years. The experience she gained gave her know-how to start her own business. In 1963, despite another setback, the death of her second husband, she founded Mary Kay Cosmetics with $5,000 and a solid business plan. Mary Kay believed in praising others' success. She also believed that success comes by putting God first, family second, and career third. At the time of her death in 2001, Mary Kay Cosmetics had over 800,000 sales representatives in 37 countries, generating over $2 billion a year in annual sales. Mary Kay was put in a challenging situation while in her early 20s. She responded to the challenge by creating a multi-billion-dollar empire based on positive values and financial empowerment for women like herself. Mark Cuban is an entrepreneur and owner of the Dallas Mavericks. After graduating from Indiana University in 1982, he moved to Dallas, where he found work as a bartender and then as a salesman at a computer software store. He was fired less than a year into his employment. He soon began his own software business with the support of some customers he had met while working at his previous job. Cuban's new company, Micro Solutions, sold business-to-business software and landed Perot Systems as an early client. In 1990, Cuban sold his business to a larger software company for $6 million. 5 years later, Mark and a friend from college, Todd Wagner, started a new internet business called AudioNet that combined their interests in college basketball and what they saw as the future of web broadcasting. In 1998, the company became known as Broadcast.com and had grown to 330 employees. In 1999, Yahoo purchased Broadcast.com for $5.9 billion, making Cuban one of America's wealthiest men. He purchased the Dallas Mavericks in the year 2000 for $285 million from H. Ross Perot Jr., the client who had helped him put his business career on the map. Had Mark not been fired from his retail job and forced to start his own business, he would not have prospered as he has. When Michael Jordan tried out for his high school's varsity basketball team as a sophomore, he did not make the team. That disappointment encouraged young Michael to step up his game. He averaged 40 points a game that year on the junior varsity team and trained hard to make the varsity team the next season. He then won a scholarship to play at the University of North Carolina. After helping UNC to win an NCAA championship, Jordan entered the NBA draft. He wasn't the first overall pick or the second, but the third player chosen in the 1984 draft. Again, this only encouraged him to step up his game. He was voted Rookie of the Year for averaging almost 30 points a game in his rookie season. Early in his second season, however, he broke his foot and was sidelined for 64 games, almost the entire season. Michael Jordan took the setbacks of being injured and playing on a losing team as encouragement to become his personal best. Ultimately, Jordan went on to become the most successful player in NBA history, winning literally dozens of awards. Michael Jordan developed his talents to an unprecedented level and inspired future generations of athletes. An important part of his astonishing success was his ability to overcome obstacles early in his career. Solving problems feels good. When you solve problems, you feel good. If a crossword puzzle were already filled out and you looked at it, there would be very little meaning to you. If you were looking at the same crossword puzzle, but you filled it out, then you would have a sense of satisfaction and progress as your reward for solving the problems of the crossword. Understand the value that problems entail. They provide opportunities for personal satisfaction and progress when we overcome challenges. In 1963, Lou Groen had a problem. Lou was an early franchisee of McDonald's who noticed that during Lent, his business declined dramatically because his restaurant was located in a primarily Catholic part of town. He came up with the idea of serving a fish sandwich that would fit into Catholics' diet during Lent. Filet of fish soon became a regular item on all McDonald's menus around the world from that time onward. 17-year-old Tony Iommi also had a problem. He was a promising young guitarist planning on a career in music when he accidentally cut off the tips of 2 of his fingers while working in a sheet metal factory. Uncertain of his future, he tried a variety of techniques to allow him to continue pursuing his dreams. He soon realized that if he loosened the guitar strings' tension, he could still play. The result was a deeper and heavier sound than anyone had ever heard. This became the basis for the signature sound of his band, Black Sabbath, which went on to international fame and success. In 1950, Sam Walton's landlord would not renew his lease to continue operating his Ben Franklin Five and Dime store in Newport, Arkansas. Forced to find a new location, he left Newport for Bentonville, where he opened his first Walton's Five and Dime. Sam and his brother Bud subsequently opened 16 similar stores in Arkansas before launching their first Walmart in 1962. Since that time, Walmart has grown to be the largest retail store in the world, with over 8,000 locations, 2 million employees, and over $4 billion a year in sales. Who knows how things would have turned out had Sam been able to stay in Newport? Every thought is 2 thoughts. That which is wanted and that which is unwanted. A problem and its solution are actually 2 different thoughts. Become focused on solutions and you will find them. Now that you understand the law of attraction, you can see that focusing on problems brings about more problems. By concentrating instead on solutions and what you want, you overcome obstacles and succeed in life. Use your vision to see the opportunities that are always around you. This will keep your mind on the resources available to you rather than those that are lacking. If you're sick, you must think of being well. You must focus on the fact that most of you is well. When you're struggling, you must see yourself prospering. You must focus on the abundance you do have. When your relationship is going all wrong, you must see it going all right. Understanding that every thought is 2 thoughts gives you the ability to know and see the other side of the coin. There always is another side of the coin, thought or focus. Heads, wanted; tails, unwanted. This is simple, yet extremely powerful to know and use. Gain faith from the stories in this chapter. No matter what challenges life throws your way, not only can you handle them, but also by facing them head on, you will overcome them and grow better and stronger in the process.
Messenger